Okay, looks like we have a healthy amount of students joining us today. Really excited to see you. Welcome to the 6th annual Bryan Back to Business in the Bryan School of Business and Economics. Give me just 1 second. There we go. We're really excited to have you in our last virtual session today before the big B2B party tonight. My name is Amy Yandel, and I am the Graduate Student Career and Professional Development Specialist at the Bryan School of Business and Economics. We're going to go ahead and get started, but first, I'm going to review a couple of Zoom webinar guidelines. First of all, if you have any questions during the talk, type them in the Q&A. We may take questions during the session, but we'll definitely take questions at the end of the session. For all other comments, please use the chat function. Be sure when you're using chat and Q&A to use kind and considerate language. And if your question is detailed or the answer becomes complicated, we may have to follow up with you after the session due to time limitations. So again, welcome. And with that, I'll turn it over to our session moderator, Lasse Polamaki.
Thank you so much, Amy. And Amy, if you just give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen that I'm sharing. Awesome, thank you, perfect. So welcome everyone. As Amy pointed out, my name is Lasse Polamaki. I'm a professional development specialist at the Bryan School, and I work directly with our undergraduate students. And I have the honor of introducing our student panelists for this session. So what we'll do is we're going to take about 5 minutes to introduce each of our student organizations that we want to highlight today. And at the end of the session, we'll be also happy to take any questions you have. But during the presentation, pay attention, see what the student organizations have to offer, and keep an eye out for future events that they're going to be highlighting. The panelists for today, we have Logan Martin from the North Carolina Sales Institute. We have Scarlett Nunez from the Spartan Investment Club, Liliana Guevara from our Alpha chapter, Mary Helen Kulusek, who has sent us a video for AMA. We have Tammy Wang for Threads, and Mark Young for the CEO Club. So first thing first, Logan, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk a little bit about the NCSI.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lasse. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today and to share with you guys about my institute that I'm president of. It is the North Carolina Sales Institute here at UNCG, and our two advisors are Dr. Bowles and John Chapman. They're awesome. Next slide, please. So here, what the goal of the North Carolina Sales Institute is to promote sales education and develop sales leaders through research, educational programs, and corporate partnerships. This institute was created to address the demand for well-trained sales talent who can work within the global marketplace. So a lot of the events that we hold this semester are going to help you work on your sales skills, because when you go into a job and you're interviewing, you're selling yourself to that person. So next week, for instance, we have an event next Wednesday, September 1st at 5 p.m. in Bryan 225, which John Chapman's going to go over 30-second elevator pitches, the importance of them, and how to construct your own so that when you have the opportunity to share with someone about yourself, you're ready and you'll nail it the first time. Next slide, please. So even if you are not a sales major, that is perfectly okay. These are a few bullet points on why you should still join this organization. You will gain active listening skills, presentation skills, strong verbal communication skills, resilience and persistence, and a high degree of self-motivation along with goal setting. And so these are skills that you will use in your lifetime. And what's really awesome is that you have the opportunity to gain those through the Bryan School, through the North Carolina Sales Institute for free, where students at other schools don't have these kinds of opportunities. So I really encourage you all just to at least come to one of our meetings and get a feel for more about our organization and what skills you can gain. Next slide, please. This is a quote that I like to use when talking to students. In our kickoff meeting last night, I presented this quote as well. When students come out of a sales program, they're not finding jobs, they're balancing 5 to 7 job offers. So like I mentioned before, you're really selling yourself to a company. Your resume will get you in the door, but your soft skills, your sales skills will help you nail your job. And it's really important that you know how to articulate certain words and yourself well in a clear and concise way so that you can nail whatever job interview you're going for. Next slide, please. And just a few examples of where the North Carolina Sales Institute can take you. We've had students intern at Anheuser-Busch, IBM, AT&T, Oracle, Google, these big name companies, and they've learned so much through the Sales Institute that they were able to do this and learn lifelong skills. So I really encourage you all to get involved. Next slide, please. And if you are interested in getting involved, these are the 3 people you need to reach out to, including myself. Please email us. I can give you the registration link, which all that entails is your email and your name, just so that I can add you to the email list so that you can never miss an update from us. And I really hope to see you all at our next meeting next Wednesday, September 1st at 5 p.m. in Bryan 225, where in the middle, you'll see John Chapman. He will be going over 30-second elevator pitches. I just want to say thank you again for letting me speak to you guys, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you guys next Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Logan. So we are going to go ahead and move to our second student organization. We have Spartan Investment Club and Scarlett Nunez. So Scarlett, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Scarlett Nunez and I'm the current president of the Spartan Investment Club. So as it says here in the slide, this student organization helps its members with professional development in the financial services and investment industry. Members are also given the opportunity to learn basic financial literacy that is useful for their everyday life. And by this, we mean that to join the club, you don't have to be a finance major. So we know that every college student, regardless of your major, you're going to have to deal with money eventually. So you have to have good budgeting skills, good skills with how you're going to allocate your money. So that's something that we try to teach you here with basic financial literacy lessons. And then for those actually interested in having a career in finance, we try to have different workshops such as resume workshops, interview workshops, and different ways to help you prepare for that and help you be able to land different internships and jobs eventually. And just as you see here in the slide, it shows a picture of us getting together because we used to get together and just like, it's also a way to get with other people that are interested in the same things you are, so as finance, and that way you have someone to look for and someone to get a good reason to continue and get comments from them as well. And now we're going to move on to the next slide, please. And now here's the executive board, because believe me, I don't do this alone. It's really hard to keep up with clubs, so you need every single one of your executive board members. So as you have it here, it's me, I'm the president, and then my friend Samantha Olivas, who's executive vice president, and then Mary Helen is the VP of administration, and Michelle Garcia is the VP of finance. And something to highlight here is that we actually have 2 current positions open. So we have the VP of marketing and the VP of investment open. So that means that even if you're a freshman, you can join a club, and if you're willing to do the work, you can go for the position, and eventually we'll have an election. And trust me, this is something that will really help you out, because Mary Helen and I both became VPs of a different area during our freshman year. And I became president of the Spartan Investment Club my sophomore year. And Mary Helen actually became president of another club within UNCG. So getting that kind of experience early on really helps you set up for success even early on as your sophomore year or also your junior year. And now we'll move on to the next slide. And like I mentioned before, we do help you prepare for landing internships, and some real world examples that we have is actually myself and the executive vice president, which is Samantha Oliva. Over the summer, we both had internships with Wells Fargo. Mine was in corporate banking, and Samantha's she was a financial analyst in commercial capital. And what we did was that as members of the club, we were able to prepare. So this means that we were able to look at technical questions, because as you might know, like in the finance world, you get a lot of technical questions apart from a behavioral interview. So for that, we had to prepare, and we used each other to prepare for our interviews. So like I mentioned before, joining a club such as the Smart Investment Club allows you to meet other people who had similar interests as you. So that means that when you're going through the internship process, you're not alone anymore. So you can count on them to maybe practice and do different things that will help you prepare. So that's a good way to utilize your peers while also going to the club meetings to maybe go over the workshops, but also gain valuable connections. And now we're going to move on to the next slide. And then finally, we are set to have our interest meeting on Wednesday, September 1st at 6 p.m. At the moment, we have our location set as Zoom, and that's because we want our interest meeting to make sure that it's accessible to everyone. And then once we have that first Zoom meeting, we'll send out a poll if you're interested, and we'll let you decide if you want it to be hybrid, in person, or Zoom. So that way we are able to truly address what our members want and be able to meet you where you are right now. And then here you see it's a QR code that will take you to our interest form that you can fill out. And so you scan it and it'll take you to a Google form, and that will help me gain your contact information, such as your email, your classification, and maybe even why you want to join the Spartan Investment Club. That way, throughout the school year, I'll be able to, together with my board, work on truly getting you that valuable maybe lessons that you want to learn, and truly be able to address what you want to get out of the club. Because after all, we know that the club should be more than what I want it to be. It should also be what you want it to be as members. And as I mentioned before, if you're interested, I'll get the information from the Google form, and I'll send you a registration link to register for the Zoom link. So thank you for being here, and I hope that you're interested in joining.
Thank you so much, Scarlett. So we're going to keep on rolling. We're going to move to our third student president, or student leader, I should say. And we will be talking with Liliana a little bit about Alpha. So Liliana, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Liliana Guevara, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Alpha at UNCG Greensboro, the Association of Latino Professionals for America. And we can go to the next slide. So what does Alpha do? So Alpha at UNCG was founded in July 2020. We are Latino based, but not exclusive, and we are open to all majors. So any of you are welcome to join. And what we do is we facilitate the transition of students to the workforce through internships, scholarships, and networking opportunities. And we can go to the next slide. So since everything has been online and virtual because of the pandemic, we have carried out a lot of workshops for professional development, and we've had guest speakers. So these are just some examples of our events. We've had budgeting throughout the pandemic, Ace the Interview, Navigating Your Career, and we've had guest speakers from VMware and Microsoft. And we can go to the next slide. And as I mentioned before, we do share these opportunities with our members. So these are just some examples of the internships that our members have gotten. So our members have interned with Wells Fargo, Sherwin-Williams, Bank of America, and even Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. We can go to the next slide. For full-time opportunities, some of our members are currently employed at the Bank of America, the Hartford, and UNCG Guarantee. And we can go to the next slide. And scholarships, some of our members have received the Pamela A. Wilson Memorial Scholarship and have been sponsored by Alpha National Wells Fargo. And we can move on to the next slide. And for volunteering opportunities, so we have a lot of volunteering opportunities. Our members have volunteered with Backpack Beginnings, where they clothed and fed children in need, Downtown Greenway, where they helped clean downtown, one step further, where they were even able to be a part of a drive-in movie night, and the UNCG Chance Camp, which they were able to be mentors to Latinx students in high school. And we can move to the next slide. And we do offer recognition for success. So what we do is we have you fill out a form and where you describe your achievement, and we create a graphic with that information. And these are just some examples of the graphics that we've created. We share these on our socials, so you'll be on Instagram and LinkedIn. And we can move to the next slide. And as of now, we don't have a set interest meeting, but we will keep you updated if you follow our socials. So you can follow us at Instagram at alpha.uncg, or follow us on LinkedIn at Alpha UNCG Greensboro, or you can scan the QR code to go directly to our interest meeting on our interest farm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liliana. And I see we have a couple of questions that have rolled in, and I'm going to go ahead and address those really quickly. The question was that are all the meetings on Wednesdays? And this is going to depend on the club, and this is going to also depend on the week. So sometimes it might be on Tuesdays, sometimes on Thursdays, sometimes on Fridays. So the best thing to do is either scan one of these interest forms or directly email to the president. And what I will do here shortly is I'm going to put all the president's emails onto the chat box. So that way all of you attendees have access to their emails, and you can directly email to Logan, Scarlett, Liliana, Mark, whoever that might be, which club you're interested in. And that way you get direct information about that. And the second option is you log into Brian Gold, which many of you have heard of probably today. And that is also going to list all of these events. So that way you have a couple of different channels and avenues where you can find when the events take place and what the topics are. So I'm going to go roll to the next one. And we have American Marketing Association. Unfortunately, we did not have any student leaders who were available right at this moment, but what we'll show you is a pre-recorded video from the president, Mary Helen Kalusek. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you here now. And Scarlett, you are on my screen, so if you can hear this video and audio once it plays, just give me a thumbs up, and that way we know we're good to go.
I cannot hear it.
All right, so what we will do, Rob, do you have any 30-second fixes for this?
Yeah, I'm thinking if you stop sharing for a second, and then when you go back to share again, there should be an option that says share computer sounds.
Okay, so stop share.
Yeah, and then when you click on share screen,
Okay, I see share sound on the bottom left, so I'm going to click on that.
Okay.
And okay, so let's try this again.
Today, I hope to share with you a little bit about our organization so that you can know if you would be a good fit. So first, I will introduce our amazing team that works so hard to ensure that everything runs smoothly and makes AMA UNCG what it is. So first, we have our VP of Social Media, Erica, our VP of Membership, Lynette, our VP of Communications, Mark, our advisor, Sarah McSween, and our treasurer, Yogita. So what is AMA UNCG and what do they do? AMA UNCG provides you with insights into what a career in the field of marketing looks like with relevant speakers and events, as well as a space to network with like-minded peers. And I'll talk more about these events now. So we have a lot of events at AMA UNCG. These are a couple of the main categories. First, we have presentations and interviews with business professionals. These can be professionals in the field of marketing and also recruiters who can share with you advice on how to best present yourself to employers and, tips on job hunting and interviews, everything that can help you gain insight into what a career marketing looks like and how to get to that point. We also have skill boot camps in which you will be able to learn about some skills that are required for a lot of jobs in marketing. This can include social media management, such as LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. You can also have Canva, in which will show you how to operate that system. Adobe, Photoshop, everything that can help a marketer take themselves to the next level and help you become more and more employable. We also have networking events in which you will be able to network with your peers and with potential mentors in the field of marketing. And finally, we have speed interviews that are done alongside the North Carolina Sales Institute, in which you will be able to take everything that we've taught you and everything you've learned through internships in school thus far and try to pitch yourself to real recruiters and real employers who are looking for college students, who are looking to add people to their team. And so that's an invaluable opportunity to get your foot in the door with real world experience. So who should join? First and foremost, marketing majors. Obviously, a lot of what we're going to cover is going to be material that you're going to cover in your marketing classes as well, and that we can elaborate upon, and we can give you real world experience with. You also have entrepreneurs, whether it be that you want to start a business after you graduate, or you've started a business already. You're going to need to not only know how to market yourself, but how to market your business, and we can help you with that. And also just generally those who are interested in social media marketing and management, and overall storytelling, because that is really what marketing is at the root, is storytelling. So if you are interested, if I've done my job right, please use either the QR code or the URL for this interest form. It's a short Google form in which we will get you all of the relevant questions to get you on our mailing list and ready to sign up for future events. And if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me, Mary Helen Kalusik, at mskolos@uncg.edu. I'm available anytime and to answer any questions that you have, no matter how big or small. All right, thank you so much for allowing me to present, and I hope to connect with a lot of you in the near future.
All right, so that was the American Marketing Association, and Mary Helen listed her email there. And like I said, I will be popping all those emails in the chat shortly here. But we are going to go ahead and move to the next one. So Tammy is not here quite yet. Mark, we're going to move on to you. So I'm going to click through these slides really quickly, and we will come back to that when Tammy is here. All right, so Mark Young is the president for the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization, also known as CEO. And Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. So just like last I said, my name is Mark. I'm the president of the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization. I'm super excited to speak to all of you all today. And the main focus of our club is to help you develop your business. Even if you don't know what it is yet, we want to help provide you with resources to get you on the ground running. And even if you don't know like what you want yet, we want to be able to provide those connections for you and just the know-how. So if you ever do decide that one day you might want like a side hustle, or maybe you want to like focus on opening a restaurant, we can give you those resources. Next slide, please. So part of our mission is to inform and inspire the college student to have an entrepreneurial mindset and to seek opportunity through enterprise creation. And we do offer networks through Greensboro, through North Carolina, and on a national level. So we provide resources through our club to you. Next slide, please. So here's our team. I'm the president. Rochelle is our vice president. Jacob is our VP of finance. Taterika is our VP of marketing. And Yogita is our VP of web communications. And if you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to any of us. We have our emails listed down there at the bottom. If you ever have any questions, we're always available to you. Next slide, please. And so a little glance into our currently planned agenda. We just had our fall kickoff yesterday. So if you have any questions, you can reach out about what we talked about yesterday. Coming up on September 8th, we have startups with David. He will be going over how to form a startup or how to join a startup and about like securing your first internship. September 29th, we actually have that event now. We're going to be meeting with Strictly Social, which is an event hosting organization within Greensboro. They focus a lot on nightlife and creating events, and they're going to be talking about how they navigated through COVID-19 and how they were able to survive. I'm really excited for that one. On October 13th, we'll be hosting speed interviews in a collaboration between the American Marketing Association and the North Carolina Sales Institute. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. October 27th, we are still working on that one. And November 10th, we'll be having end of year celebration. And we'll also have other like member exclusive events throughout the year, whether it may be bowling or a day of community service. We just haven't figured out the dates for those yet. Next slide, please. And here's some of the resources that we offer. through CEO. One of them is Venture Valley, where we offer business simulations. So if you want to try and create your business through that, it will try and give you some estimates and forecasts for how that may work. Million Stories, which introduces you to the stories of other entrepreneurs and how their journey went through. One of my favorite ones is actually Start Engine, where you can list your new business and you can secure funding either from an angel investor or through other average investors just to get that seed money going. And another fun one is the job site from CEO. So that's just like a job board that we provide for entrepreneurs if you're looking for that first job. Next slide, please. Okay, and if you have any other questions, on the left there is our club sign up. So if you scan that, we'll add you to our email list. On the right, we have our group me. So if you'd like to join that, that's just a group chat for us to talk and communicate with entrepreneurs. And if you want something a little more casual, we have our Instagram right down at the bottom that you can follow us at. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mark. So it looks like we're still waiting on our final panelist, Tammy. So now is a good time for me to pop in the chat and give you the emails for all of our panelists. And in addition to that, we can open it up for any questions that you might have for the panelists about a specific organization or just overall the benefits of joining a club, anything like that. So let's go ahead and do that now. And then we will come back to Tammy in just a second if her technology allows us to join her. So any questions you might have, feel free to raise your hand or just put it in the chat and we'll be happy to address those. Okay, so we have a question, and the question is, are any of your organizations open to graduate students? And that is a tremendous question. Currently, the ones that are featured on our call are all undergraduate organizations. However, if you click on the link or if you scan the link here on the left of the screen, you will find a listing of all of our student organizations at the Brown School. And that's going to include all of our graduate as well as undergraduate organizations. Some of those accept both, so undergraduate as well as graduate students. Some of those are specifically for graduate or undergraduate. So once again, by scanning that link, you'll be able to sort whichever way you prefer.
CEO welcomes both. Just want to put that out there.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. Scarlett and Logan, do you have any policies on that? So are your organizations open to graduates and undergraduates or just undergraduates?
For me, it's the same. It's open for both for the Spartan Investment Club.
Same here. It's open to both.
Wonderful. Thank you all. We have a question from Chandler. Are organizations eligible to be put on resumes and can they be used for references? So I'm going to turn this over to our student president. So essentially, do you have your positions listed on your resumes and what is the benefit of having those?
I can start off if that's okay. So I definitely would encourage you to put it on your resume. However, I do say that everything that you put on your resume, you should be able to talk about if an employer were to ask you questions. So if you register and you're a member of, whatever organization you choose, but you don't go to meetings or you can't, talk about the value of the organization to someone who's looking to hire you, I would not put it on your resume. However, if you hold a position, definitely do that. Put some bullet points about some of the things you do, and really highlight the key, expertise stuff that you guys do so that when you're going for interviews, you can talk about it.
Thank you, Logan. Scarlett, Mark, you want anything to add?
I would say about the same thing as Logan. Yeah, she said it great.
Awesome.
And just something to add is from personal experience, I had actually used my time at the Spartan Investment Club to help myself in my interview. So often they'll ask you like, how can you show interest in whatever like field you're interested? Like for instance, for me it's finance. And I was able to show that by showing that I have been a member of the Spartan Investment Club since freshman year. And I was able to explain why I joined and what I did during my time there. So that's something what's helpful with, especially if you have like a position like Logan mentioned.
Perfect. Thank you. And Scarlett, I'm going to follow up on you. I have another question specifically for you. So could the Spartan Investment Club help someone who is in finance? So we have a student who is very interested in the field and was curious about the resources that you offer to a finance student.
And yes, that's what we specialize in. So we're open to all majors, but we do have some club meetings special for the finance students. And one way that we help is that sometimes we bring in speakers as well. So for instance, in this semester, we're having at least one speaker already from Wells Fargo that we met during our internship, Samantha and I. And that way you're able to meet with real life professionals that help you understand more like what their day-to-day life is. And apart from that, we'll also open resources for you, especially like the seniors here in the executive board. We're always open to help you with technical questions, with practice, with anything you might need to help you prepare for your finance career.
Thank you, Scarlett. We have the same question also from an accounting student. So someone who's in accounting, I'm assuming there's benefit with that as well.
Yes, so you can also join if you're in accounting, but just to mention, we actually have a club here at UNCG specializing in accounting students, and I'm actually part of it because I am also majoring in accounting, and it's called BAP, so Beta Alpha Psi, and you can join it, and you can reach out to, if you're interested in it, you can reach out to me, and I'll give you the details of how to join that club as well.
Perfect. And Scarlett, that's a great point. So if we have any specific students who are interested in something that is not featured today, once again, if you look at the screen and scan the QR code on the left side, you will see a listing of all the organizations that we have. So there are a handful of ones that we did not have the time to feature today, including Spartans in tourism, hospitality, for example, etc. So if that is something you're interested in, try to find it up here on the QR code. Okay, so we had a question about the permission links and the QR codes. So if your code is not working, a lot of the times these QR codes are restricted to UNCG email, and make sure you're logged into your UNCG email on your phone when you scan the codes, and that way you'll be sure to be let in. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and jump in here and ask our student panelists really quickly, what is the most valuable experience or skill or soft or hard or anything else that you've received from being, first of all, a member, because most of our students are members, and second of all, a student leader? So two-pronged question, and you're welcome to jump in whenever you're ready.
I would say one of the most valuable experiences I got as a member, I was able to attend our CEO Global Conference in Florida. So I was able to network with a lot of other motivated individuals, and I was able to hear their business ideas and like their struggles and their successes. And that really gave me a lot of motivation and insight. So that was a really valuable experience for me. Now I'd say as a student leader is being able to see the impact that you make and seeing the change that you can make in someone's life. It's really gratifying.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Scarlett, Logan.
I can go next. So kind of jumping off of Mark, I definitely think that being a student leader, I'll answer that first question first. I really like sharing my own experiences. So I'm also a team leader in the business school. So I get to interact with freshmen weekly, and I really like it because I feel like I can connect with them more because I am still a student, but I'm a leader in the business school. So I can share my experiences and my stories and kind of the do's and don'ts, and just kind of how to navigate the organizations and what events I definitely would attend, I wish I attended. And then for what event the North Carolina Sales Institute has put on that has been my favorite would definitely be the 30-second elevator pitch, because I know that when I first came into the business school and someone was like, can you tell me about yourself? I didn't know what to say. I was just like, I like hanging out with friends, like nothing that employers want to hear. So knowing how to articulate that 30 quick seconds, because as John Chapman will tell you, first impression is normally made within the first 15 seconds of meeting someone. So you definitely want to make those 15 seconds good. And I think that that session that we have every semester is really, really, really impactful.
And I
you,
completely
Logan.
agree with both Logan and Mark. And something to add is that as a freshman, I did not know what major I specifically wanted to go into. So it's something that I would recommend for any freshman. Joining the Spartan Investment Club helped me realize that finance is what I wanted to specialize in and what I wanted my career to focus on. So even if you're a freshman right now, if you're unsure, if you even have like small like curiosity, just join clubs, even if they're not your major, and they'll help you realize if that's truly what you want to be, and just learn more about from professionals, their day-to-day life, and help you realize on early on. And also how being a student leader has helped me. So you see me up here, but I'm actually not that good at public speaking so far. I'm still trying to improve on that. And that's something that goes to show you, even if you might be an introvert, even if you like are challenged in certain ways, you can always improve and you can always get out of your comfort zone. And trust me, it was hard to do as a sophomore, getting in front of everyone and talking about finance, but you can also do it. And my position will be open next year, so you can always count on that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Scarlett. There are no other questions at this moment, so I'm going to go ahead and take a second to cover the current slide that is on. Just to recap everything our panelists have said so far and cover on their own slides, joining a student organization is going to offer a lot of benefit to you. It doesn't matter what the specific club is. It doesn't matter what your major is. There's going to be a lot of value added to your development as well as your resume if you do participate actively. So first of all, as we've said a lot, is your professional network is going to grow. It's going to grow through your peers, who are oftentimes like-minded, ambitious, and driven. It will grow through the faculty advisors. It's going to go through panelists who will come speak, guest speakers, industry experts, whoever is connected to that organization. So you have all these resources available to you, both individually and collectively, if you do participate in these clubs. Second thing, you learn relevant career skills. So Logan mentioned elevator pitches, Scarlett mentioned several other things in terms of public speaking, whatever that might look like. So there's a lot of hard skills and soft skills that you gain. There's a lot of workshops. I know AMA, for example, offers Photoshop, Illustrator, PowerPoint, whatever it might look like for you, right? So there's a lot of skills that you learn through these workshops, as well as just the interaction that you have on a daily basis with your clubs. It does allow you to apply your knowledge. And what we mean by that is that if you really want to improve on your leadership or your teamwork, being a part of this kind of a club where you have peers around you, you have professionals around you, it's going to allow you to take those skills and apply them in a real work setting. You get to connect and network with industry professionals. You get to learn all these skills in a real setting. And that is not always the case in the classroom. So this takes your learning a step further. And finally, exclusive resources. So Mark, for example, highlighted all those different resources from the jobs pages to CEOs, national organizational resources and whatnot. You will not get these resources if you're not part of these clubs. So it's very beneficial for you to join and try to take advantage of all the things they offer for you. So what we will do next is we have a few minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and display a Brian Gold slide. So go ahead and scan with your phones on the Suitable app. That way you get points for attending this seminar. And if any questions come to mind, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop in our student presidents' emails one more time. So you have their names, you have their organizations, and their emails. So that way, once again, you can contact them directly. And Brian Gold, which I mentioned earlier, is the second way to find out about the organizations and their events, when they take place, and what the topic is. But that is all from me right now. If there are any questions, once again, you can email one of our wonderful presidents, or you can email me and we'll get you connected. But thank you so much for joining. And Amy, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to you right now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lasse. I want to say thank you again to our student organization leaders who represent the Bryan School so well. And thank you to you, Lasse, and to all of the students who joined us for this call today. This is our last virtual session for this year's B2B event. Now it's time to step outside and mingle. So don't forget the B2B party gates open at 5 p.m. for free food, t-shirts, a DJ, and a photo booth. Remember, the party is open to Bryan students only, and arrive early because supplies are limited in some cases. Students need to enter through the baseball stadium gate closest to the Bryan School. We're watching the weather and things look like they'll be fantastic by 5 o'clock. So we're really looking forward to having you there. Thanks again to our speakers and our moderator today, and have a safe evening, everyone.